Yo, what up? And welcome to another episode of Straight from the Stands, an unapologetic, unofficial LA Galaxy podcast, hosted by four my supporters who bring you their thoughts and views on everything related to LA Galaxy, straight from the stands. I am your co-host Smarts, alongside the always angry Angel, his counterpart level-headed George, and the man with the facts, Masa. This is Straight from the Stands. Good evening.
What up? What up?
What's going on, boys? How are you guys?
Chilling.
We got a full house today. We got George back. We got Masa, who's awake. I think maybe
Something like that. Dog.
and an Angel with a sore throat, but he's gonna be flexing the whole show. So just look at him flexing. It's a good time. Great shape on the shoulders. George, how you doing, Papa?
Doing pretty good. How y'all been? I've been listening. I've been keeping up.
Yo, you getting people calling you out. I know Adrian last week called you out. He's like George don't show. It's like George don't show up to the games. George don't show up to the podcast. He's like, is he really a G fan with you? I mean, it's coming at your neck, dog. I was trying to pretend like I didn't read that, because he's my friend, and I'm talking about my friend like that.
I wanted to spot on positivity. I'm not even gonna address it because 3 years ago I never saw my man in the stands. So, after 10 years, you got to take some time off. You got to relax. You got to watch it from the. But I get it. I remember my first games too. I remember my first games.
What up, my son? What you think of game one? Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. My bad.
Game one?
That's all I'm waiting.
Chill, you're gonna get so many. We live in rent free in Laker fans' head. We live in rent free.
You're not living rent free though. Stapleton is expensive as shit.
Nah, if anything, y'all pay us rent, my man.
Basketball is that shit's been over, though. That shit's long time gone, baby. I don't even know who's in the finals, bro.
Stop it! You definitely know one team that's in the finals. You know one team that's in the finals. Stop playing.
I don't know the other team.
Stop playing. All right, stop playing. Listen,
you know what? I don't like watching the Bucks play basketball, dog. So the Suns is a cool team. I much rather would have liked to see in Atlanta, but they didn't make it.
Why? Because they're shit talking from Trae Young.
I like Trae Young a lot, though.
He's cool. I like him.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I mean, he can't play defense for shit, but my man dropping 40 in his first playoff
I mean, you got to play defense when you're dropping 40, my man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, are you excited for your second place in the West banner next year? Y'all like putting your relevant banners up.
Hopefully, dog. I mean, a playoff P banner flying high.
Sick ass selfies, dog. Fuck with that. All right, and as you can tell, we're not live. We're not, and it's not Monday. It's like Tuesday. Yesterday, the day after July 4th, was kind of a mess for everybody to get on together, so we couldn't get on live. But again, like I said last week, we're trying to get back on track and come out every Monday. Unfortunately, it's going to come out Wednesday morning. That being said, let's get into it. For us, actually, it worked out because we got some news today, right? Like we found out Julian got a 4.5-year contract renewal.
Bam.
Smart move, no?
Hell yeah, smart move.
A smart move. Like
no one was playing the $10 million price tag that Masa put up on him.
Hey man, listen, I think last week, was the last week or the week before, I had to fucking, eat a little bit of humble pie until Masa he was right, because I think he is a $10 million player now. You know what I mean? So I'm really impressed. No, I'm not really impressed. I'm really happy that the G's locked him up, right? Apparently, since he's gonna come into this under 22 initiative, the G's take all the money, right? Like from the transfer. So man, that's smart. That's smart, man. Like it's something we've been talking about. Like G's need to capitalize on the youth, and I think it's gonna come to fruition with this deal. I also heard on COG that the Efra's deal is next too. Especially with Chivas like kind of looming around. Like I think it's another smart move. It's the way to go. Yeah. Listen, it took a while for the G's to get here, to get to where we want to see them taking advantage of the youth talent they have. But I mean, it took a while, but it looks like they're doing it the right way, where they're locking them up and making sure they get all the monies, which I'm happy about. Wait, but before we move on, you still don't think he's a $10 million player?
No, 100% he's not.
Yeah, that's crazy.
100% he's not a $10 million player. If he was a $10 million player, he'd be a $10 million player.
I think he's a $10 million player right now. I think once we picked up, I see, like, you know why? Especially, you know why I told Masa this? Because seeing him play, he doesn't look like a like this kid who's coming up anymore. Right, like he looks the part. He looks the part of the team.
Season, we were talking about him and Jalen Fisher going up for a spot.
Yeah, and there's no talk about that anymore
because of Jalen Fisher being bad.
No, because of Julian being good. Because Julian balling is as like. Listen,
I guarantee to me, we could go back to the spot. The day that we sell Julian is not going to be for 10 minutes. It might be even half of that.
Nah, I think you're tripping. Listen, I'll tell you right now. Like for me, Julian's probably like third, fourth best player of the team. That's how high I am right now. He's been really balling out in my eyes. In my opinion, he's been balling out. He's buying it. And listen, if some of these other kids have gone for a close figure, a close figure to $10 million, like this guy's gonna break it. This guy's getting $10 million breaking it, I think. But we'll see. Listen, hopefully it's not this summer. Hopefully it's maybe the end of the season or next summer where we see that. But I think this kid's gonna go. I'm super hyped for him to get acknowledged that way and get that fat ass contract.
I'm excited for it. Listen, one of our own. I would love for him to be worth $100 million, but it's not there. I personally don't believe it's there. But shit, if he's there, if I'm wrong, then that just means the G's are going to be making money off of it. So I'd rather be wrong than not be right.
Yeah, I agree with that. What fancy Ford car do you think they'll be driving next home game? Was it tomorrow? What was he putting up? He's putting up on the Corvette.
Nah, they're gonna have him in a trash ass Chevrolet. You know, Galaxy are gonna put him in a Tahoe.
In a Tahoe,
probably a Camaro or something.
Nah, but straight up though, like man, you guys see the video he posted or that we posted, that Angel CBK posted, that he did? Yeah. Man, like this has been kissing the badge, and he's been talking like that. He been talking that talk, dog. You know what I mean? Like I've been hyped, dog. I've been hyped, super happy for him. Like legit, that made my morning today. I was happy to see that and to hear about that. So big shout out to the G's for that. Let's talk about some injuries, right? Because we also heard about the injuries since we recorded yesterday. We heard about some injuries today. Chicha out.
Hey, chill out. Oh, damn, he just had one bad game. Why Chicha out?
No. Chicha's out due to injury. Let me go ahead and say the whole thing. Chicha's out. Chicha's out due to injury. Initial thoughts, like I don't want to go too deep into it because I think we'll touch on that a lot based on the game versus Seattle. But real quick, and again, I don't want to talk about Dallas just yet. Actually, you know what? Let's. I'm not even gonna skip it. Just acknowledge that Chilito's gonna be out for tomorrow.
Yes.
I have thoughts on that, but we'll talk about it when we talk about Dallas and we'll talk about Seattle. Sega Koulibaly seems like he's a game time decision.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on this? If there's any risk that he could injure himself worse than what he is, do we play him?
Leave Siga out. You leave him out. There's no why risk it? Why risk it on a Wednesday game? I understand points are important, but I think we have at least some talent that we could put in the bag to hold down this Wednesday game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. Masa, what do you think of this? What do you think, dog? Keep him in, keep him out?
It depends. Because the points are needed. Right.
Well, first of all,
after yes, they are needed. And after this game, we have a 10-day break. So if he re-aggravates that injury, how long is that? Like, how long is that recovery?
Well, right? First of all, did we find out what his injury was? What was his injury?
I couldn't find it. I'll look for it and then I'll bring it back up. But I mean, if he feels like he's ready to go, I'm gonna play him.
It's interesting too, right?
But because you do have that 10-day break, you could save him and then just have him fully healed from when we come back from that break.
So question: you're saying that points are needed, which obviously you want to win every game. The next person up behind us is Colorado, and even if we lose and they win, they still don't overtake us. Which I get. We're trying to steer clear. We're trying to be in the top 3. We're trying to make that space. But is that worth risking a center back that potentially could take you deep into the playoffs or deep into the season?
Yeah, because
especially saying, okay, well, if you get hurt, fuck it, you have 10 days. Now you're banking on those 10 days instead of saying, hey, now you have 2 weeks.
No, because Derek Williams' suspension is up after Dallas game, and then Daniel Sturridge most likely back.
But why be okay with it?
And then I'm not saying I'm okay with it. I'm saying if he tells me that he's good to go, I'm gonna let him play.
Any player is always gonna tell you they're good to go.
Well, that's the thing though, right? Like I hope because it's a game time decision. I hope you could trust the player a little bit, right? Because it's not Not something where the physios are saying like he shouldn't play. They're saying like it's a game time decision. It's hard, right? Because I agree with you. Like there's no immediate risk, but Colorado does have a game in hand on us, right? So if they win both of them, they are higher than us. And with us having a game in hand on Seattle and two games on KC, like we want to make these points up in these games that are like makeup games, right? Because after this game, we'll be one game behind these teams. So it's a tough one to be at, and I think you need to get the points now and not rely on the last game versus Houston to fucking try to get a win to get in the playoffs, right? Like, because we know how that goes. Fan appreciation nights, we're not getting points, so let's get the points now and not then, especially when we're playing a team that's sitting 12th. That is Dallas, right? But we'll get more into that after we talk about Seattle real quick. I just wanted to bring that up. So that's what we know today. We'll see tomorrow because tomorrow is game day. But let's talk Seattle. Let's talk Seattle because KC. This game on the 4th of July because Masa and I just had like a quick conversation before we hopped on. I didn't want to go in details because I want to talk about it here, but like we're both in the feeling that that's a frustrating as loss. Like Masa, I think he might have said he was angry. He wasn't even frustrated. He was angry over that loss. And I can see it. I can see it, right? Because we've been doing really well when we're beating the teams that we need to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But we seem to be shitting the bed when it's time to beat the teams that are above us or the teams that are also contenders. And it's not been because we've been ran off the field by these teams. It's just been the fact that we have not been able to finish. We have not been able to turn that possession dominance and the chance dominance into actual goals that give us separation, though.
It was Vancouver, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm sorry, I know I haven't been on, but those are two very different losses in my book. I think the Vancouver one's a little bit more frustrating because there was nothing there. We were playing to a team's pace. We were not creating much. I see this 100%. They're both frustrating. They're both, but this one, at least you could point. You know what? We lost because we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. It's simple. The chances were there. There was creativity. Chances were made. It's just you couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Well, and there's games like that happen. And in Vancouver, when you and I sat and watched the game, it was just frustrating because there was nothing. There was absolutely no soccer being played. We were playing at a low tempo. There was no type of urgency. I think maybe one or two chances were created compared to this loss where obviously I'm never okay losing, but at least it's one of those where you say you beat yourself. You couldn't score the goal.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part about it, right? I'm not frustrated with what the team did on the field because what the team did on the field, with the exception of not being able to score, was what we want to see, right? Like at points, like they were super in sync. Like they seemed like every player was moving in the right position. Everybody was just in sync and looked great. But then we get close to a goal and we just can't put it in, right? Like, and that's the frustrating part about it. And I think, contrary to other years, especially like recent years, we've been frustrated because the team just can't put something together on the field where that we're happy with or that we're contending with. Like this time, it was everything but the goal, right? And it's everything but the goal versus a team who's, a contender, right? And it's always a contender with KC. It's a well-balanced team, a team that knows what they're doing. And we dominated. So, like, is the frustration of like, just get over the hump. Just beat these teams because you're already showing that like on the field you could beat them, right? But I didn't try to sound like that, right? Yeah. Look, we look like the better team, but we taking L's, right? And I speak directly to the Seattle game and this KC game, right? Both at home games. Like I think we're like this game even more versus KC. I think we're like clearly dominant, right? Because I knew we were dominant while I was watching the game in the stands. Right, and you know how hard. I mean, you guys have been there. You know how hard it is to kind of like gauge a game from there. Like, but I knew that we were a better team in the stands. I came and watched this game, and I'm furious. Right, I'm furious because it's like, look at this. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the first half alone, there's maybe 2-3 chances. But I'm talking too much. Masa, give me your thoughts on this game and a little continuing what we're talking about on how this frustrator got you mad.
It's just to me, I was angry, right? To be fair, I have been drinking 4th of July, whatever.
I've been drinking.
But it was just really frustrating. To me, it wasn't even like, all right, we missed a lot of goals, obviously, and I was okay with that. I was thinking up to that point, like, fuck, we're not going to score tonight. It's not our night. but we're not getting scored on. You know, we don't look like we're in danger or ever we're in danger. It's more the way we gave up that first goal that was really frustrating to me. Like, and I don't even know who to blame the first goal on. Right?
Saldania.
Do you
Yes,
though?
yes,
I know.
but,
Easy.
but
Can't control the ball.
how do you play him knowing that they're pressing high to an inexperienced center midfielder?
Get off my squad.
Like, if come on.
Get off my dog. It's a simple pass back. It's a simple pass back.
And your goalie can't clear it?
Huh?
Your goalie can't clear it? Your goalie already had made a couple mistakes like that. Giving up the ball when he tried to clear it. It wasn't the first time.
You're protecting Saldania. It's crazy that you
but see, listen, let me get in here. Let me get in here and back myself for a little bit. Just because I don't like that, I don't like the initial pass down the middle. With press like that, like if you want to outlet play short when there's pressure, play out wide, right? Yeah. Because anything happens, like you boot it off of him and goes wide, you get in the pickle, you boot it off to fucking a throw in. When you put it in the middle, listen, I don't care if it's Saldania or not, right? There is some fault to Saldania because he could have controlled it better, but I just don't like the initial like release of pressure down the middle that way. Like I don't like. Like, yeah, I at that point I'd rather see him boot it. If not boot it, like maybe like a mid range pass, like down to the wings in the midfield. You know what I mean? Like to release some of that pressure. Like I think you just invite more in. Lo and behold, right? That's how the goal comes about. Like we come out down the middle when KC is kind of pressing up higher. And my problem with that is too, like if KC is pressing higher, that means the spaces are going to be further down the field. Like, yeah, let's exploit that a little bit, right? Let's look at that. Let's be more direct. Which I thought we were a little bit more direct too.
My frustration is that Saldania looks over his back twice. Yeah. He checks right before he gets the ball. He checks right when he gets to the ball. So you see that the player's coming to you twice, and you still make a bad touch. Listen, if you feel that pressure, kick that ball forward. Get it out of there. Yeah, and then talk.
But how is he going to kick it forward? What is he going to do? Kick it
wide. Kick it wide. Kick it wide. Kick it wide. Right? Like, listen,
you look over your back twice. That means you know what. Listen, I understand if the player came out of nowhere and someone blindsided thing. No, you look twice before you get the ball.
You know what it is? It's a little indecision from him, right? Because you're right. He does check twice. He does have to look over the shoulder, and if he doesn't find the space, if he doesn't find the option, then I think you do boot it out, right? Like you lose the possession, but you don't give him an attacking option. And we achieved nothing, right? We came out down the middle when there was pressure. Saldania couldn't handle the pressure. Saldania couldn't make a decision before you got the pressure on top of him. Loses the ball, turnover. I think Bond makes a decent save too to start. You know what I mean? Like he makes a decent save.
You can't do nothing about that. It's just it went right back.
It's that part, right? That part, because I think it's a good enough shot where like I don't think he can bring it down, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's like almost a reactional shot too, where he just kind of puts his hands up, right? He kind of throws his hands up and they kind of palms it and ends up back to him. And then come on, like you got to be kidding me, right? Like the way he ends up getting that bounce back off of his head, like into second pole, like. That's circus shit, bro. Right? Like that circus shit. That's like a lap shot. You can't convince me that that's intentional. That's exactly what he wants to do. I think it just kind of like tries to redirect it, and it kind of just gets that lob and it goes to second pole.
I think even the forward was a little bit surprised that it landed back on his head.
The way it does, yeah. Listen, there's some challenge he tries to get there, but like the way that it ends up rolling off of his head lobbed into second pole, like I don't think that's too intentional. 1-0, but like that's 80 minutes in, right? Like again, my frustration at this point, like if we're 3-1, it was 3-0 and they scored 1 at that point, it's still just a consolation goal, right? And I'll tell you this, like it's not only like it was Cabral and Granzier missing and Subak missing, right? Like Vasquez had one early on, down the middle, across it, and I'm not really sure how he ends up getting contact with it, but it doesn't go nowhere near a goal, like it goes back out.
It wasn't our night, to be honest. On the offensive end, like creating everything was beautiful, dog. The fluidity, everything was there. Like dope ass motherfucker. Everything was there. Just the finishing, right? The finishing, someone has to put it away, and we didn't. my frustration is that one goal, right? That one goal, the way we got scored on, that shit's annoying because that shit is so like, how do you say it?
Frustrating.
You could, it's avoidable. That's an
Yeah,
avoidable
it is.
situation.
It is.
Yeah, of course.
Very avoidable situation, right? The second goal, I don't give a fuck. We pressed up, look for the draw. It happens, bro. We got caught. It is what it is. I'm not even mad at that shit. Like you're over here looking for a result. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Can I say I think Bond got off his feet a little too early on the second goal though?
Listen, you rarely get Bond to look bad. He looked bad.
And it was, listen, I'm not even like, it's hard. Like I think he's off his foot a little early. Like he could hold the composure a little longer. But also I don't know if he knew exactly where he was like situated at. Right, he was coming back from like almost outside of his box. I'm not sure if he was completely understands where he was situated. Like when it comes to like being in the box. But I felt like there was this slight little hip movement to kind of throw him off. But I thought he bit into that a little too early and kind of
I think he
looked silly in that
just
goal.
gambled. He gambled, to be honest.
Yeah,
a small little feint. He's like, he's gonna shoot it. And he didn't.
Yeah, he left.
He gambled. It is what it is.
Listen, I want to go into talking about some of the stuff I did like from the game because like, even with the defeat, like there was a lot good that came out from the game. At least the team did a lot of things that I liked. But before moving to that, are we dependent on Chicha now? Right, like similar to what we were with Zlatan. Can we have other people scoring?
I mean, the stats don't lie, baby.
Stats don't lie, but it's just one of those where the ball just needs to go in. Once the ball goes in, Chicha's it will be fine. We're talking a lot. Listen, Cabral, we've been backing you up at least I've been backing you up for a while. After a while, it's going to be hard to back you up because there's some goals that you need to be making. The header, you need to make that. You're by yourself. No, but we can't defend you after a while.
Can you tell me like everything but like where it ended up was not perfect though, right? Like his stride, like even the neck movement, like when I seen that live and I thought it was a goal until it wasn't. I seen it at home and I was like, I thought it was gonna be a goal again, right? Like dog, like come on, like I liked it. I like that play, right? Because I hadn't seen that from Cabral. But man read that right. He got up in the air. He rotated his neck the way he needed to.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, 2 inches to the left of the goal, man.
One of those nights.
Yo, Vasquez finding him. Vasquez had a hell of a game. Someone that I wanted to see get on the score sheet because he had his chances as well, but he had a hell of a game. And that's someone who I wanted to pinpoint. He's just a class above, man. My man, he's not what he doesn't do in speed and running, even though he does a lot, he knows when to be smart with the ball. He knows when to take that extra step or when to stop and let go of the ball. And fuck y'all, if y'all thought he was a bad signing when we first came on.
Did he go for 90 minutes or close to?
He definitely went close to.
Yeah, he went 90 minutes. He didn't come out.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, he was in 84th. Yep.
My man.
So, listen, but that guy, man, he's my type of player, right? Like he's so smart, bro. He's so smart and he's effortless when he finds when he finds the pass, when he finds the space. Like there's no effort there. He just knows how to put the ball where he needs to put it. That guy's something, man. I want more of him. Revelación, we finally got to look at Revelación. I'm not saying his name right. I'm gonna say Ryan from Forever.
Ryan Revolution.
Revolution.
Listen, I liked him in the midfield, Beast. And he didn't miss a beat in center back.
Nope, not at all.
That's gonna listen. We're talking about Vasquez. Throw Jet and throw Jonah in there, like those. Any combination of those four is gonna be a good midfield.
Yeah,
right. It's gonna be a good midfield. I think with Ryan there, like you'll see better from fucking Leggett as well, and you'll have some release for Jonah. You know, I mean, it's interesting. Like, I caught COG, and they're talking about how Lejeff for the U.S. national team, he's a game changer, right? Like he dictates tempo for them, and he hasn't been able to do that with the Galaxy. And I think it's really because he hasn't found the space to do that, right? Like he's always had like some of the defensive responsibility, but with somebody like Revolution, like it can fix a lot of that, right? Because he looks like you know. Remember when we talked about Perry Kitchen, even Corona last year and the year before that, like where these guys, we expected them to be more of like that, stay in the middle, lockdown in front of the defense type players, and we never saw that. I think we can see that with Ryan though, right?
Mhm.
Like he instinctively showed like he knows how to position himself, he knows when to bite and when not to, and when to kind of track. I liked it. I really was impressed. I know we had to see like a mix shift between of him being in the CDM role and in the CB role, but like again, in my opinion, he didn't miss a beat. He didn't miss a beat. George Massa, what do you guys think about of Ryan Revolution?
Listen, the center back role, if it frustrates me because it's a good problem, but we were just talking about Sega. I don't want him to see what just came in and be like, damn, Williams is coming back. This guy's showing. Let me go out there and play and get injured. Listen, it's a good problem to have. I'm excited for it. He, whatever he played, how many minutes did he play?
He played for 90.
He played the full 90?
No, but like
He played,
for CB, right?
oh yeah, for CB, Koulibaly comes out in the 40th minute.
Uh-huh.
So he plays 40. He plays one half pretty much in midfield, in the second half of CB.
He didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, Massa, thoughts on him? And I know that's your type of player. Or at least I when I saw him, I was like, oh, that's my type of player. Like, listen, I'm gonna get hate for this, but like a little bit of party in there, though. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of party in there. The way he moves and the way he seems like he's comfortable with the ball at his feet as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. When I heard that he was coming, you do your research, and he played at Troy's or three. They played three at the back, and for like mostly the whole season, majority of the season, he played at CB. So it's not something new, you know. It's just his natural position CM, but he's a dope ass CB as well. This is a good players to have. The players that can play multiple positions.
Good problem.
And I think he was amazing. He was one of the better players on the field. For his first game to go 90 and to play two different positions, it's just something good, man. You could just tell he's game ready. He's here to take over someone's spot.
And listen, and I can't confirm that. I can't confirm it, but I think there's the language barrier with him as well, right? Like I don't think he's very fluent in English either.
Very
right?
little English. Very
Yeah,
little
so
English.
like the fact that he was able to gel well for the entirety of the game, right? In two positions, like it bodes well for him.
And he's not scared to leave, you know, his little stamp on someone. If he has to crack somebody, he's taking him down. I love that shit.
Listen, and he's not like this massive player either,
No.
right? But like it looks like he knows how to use his body and he knows how to move well. Like his position is on point, man. The way he sees the game, like is on point, so he knows the position as well. I like it, man. I can't wait to see when we have Koulibaly, fucking Derek Williams, and Revolution, like in the midfield, like in the core in the middle. That's gonna be tough to beat, man. That's gonna be tough to beat. And with my $10 million right back, I don't care what George says.
Talking about right back, someone that I wanted to bring up, our left back, Villafaña. I didn't think it was his best game, bro. I think it was one of his weakest, probably the weakest performance in a G kit.
You see, but
I don't know what it was.
I could take that.
I'm about to say that. Like
that was absolutely right. But it was one of his weakest games.
Weakest performance in a match where, you know, if you watch this match without seeing, if you watch like 7-9 minutes of this game, and you don't watch the rest, you imagine the Galaxy ended up getting a goal at one point and they won 1-0, right? Like if you don't know the score, if you just kind of left at the 70th minute and didn't see that, you know, that in the 81st they scored a goal and then again in the 90s, like you would imagine the Galaxy ended up winning that game because that's a better game, and that's the shittiest performance. I'm okay with that. right? Because even the goals that came in, like they not like you can pinpoint them at Biafangero, right? Let's talk a little bit about Subek
Why the
because
hate?
Solid shift.
Why the
Solid shift.
hate?
He had a header on goal, almost scored a
Yeah.
goal. My man always puts pressure. If you're asking me, he's still not my preferred number 2. Like, if I could go out and get a number 2 striker, I am. But I mean, my man is next in line after Chicharito. Hands down, it's not even close.
You're talking number 2. I want to end any conversation about bringing any Galaxy 2 player up. It's not it. Listen, Augie's not the answer.
No.
I saw people going the kid Preston Judd. It's not happening. That's not what we need. It's not. Why? What are you guys thinking?
Listen, I going to what George said. Like, I don't get the hate either, right? Like I think Zubek had a decent game for the skill set that he has, right? Like that's a Zubek a good game for me, right? Like I don't. If he would have scored, or he would have assisted, I would have been fucking thrilled. But he has a decent game for and he had a decent game for his skill set and for what we expect from him, right? Like in early in the season, like he was good. He wasn't good, but like he was able to find Chicharito, or at least provide enough pressure that opens up the space for Chicharito. When you don't have that there, like this is a Zubak performance. Like I don't think there was anything. I mean, like I didn't think he did anything like super wrong. Like, don't play him ever again. Like no, like when we play him, like this is what we're gonna expect, right? Like when he does more than this, like we should be really happy because he did he had a better game than what he's gonna have most of the time.
I just don't get the put Augie in. Why isn't Augie on? Like if Zubak's doing something that's he's not supposed to, I don't get it.
Listen, there was talks about how and I think Vanny himself said that he might have got it wrong versus Seattle at Seattle in the early part of the season, right, or earlier in the season. But this game though, I don't think he got anything wrong. Right? It's just like George said, like Masa said, like the goals just didn't come in. Like it was really fucked up because like the goals just didn't come in. Right, the opportunities were there, the build-up was there, the pressure was there, everything was there except for the goal. So like yeah, man, don't hate on Zubek, man. Like don't hate on Zubek. Like we have to be realistic on who Zubek is. Like, and that's what we got a Zubek caliber game. I mean, like he's not a cheater, nowhere near that. So we can't expect it from him. 2-0, boys. 2-0, like a win would have done us great in the standings, right? Because we would have been up to 24 points. Yep, 24 points. Second only behind Seattle at this point. But it wasn't meant to be. It still doesn't leave it in a bad place where, excuse me, third place with 21 points. Again, 4 points behind Seattle, 4 points behind KC, with a game in hand against Seattle and 2 games in hand versus KC. Both still very catchable. But I mean, like there's a game coming up versus Dallas that we have to win, right? And I think we had a conversation a little bit about like do we need the points or not? We'll have a conversation about that right now. Closing thoughts on the game versus KC. Yeah. Anything else you want to close about with KC?
Learn from it. Put your goals in. It is what it is. I'm not mad at the loss because okay. Let me fix what I'm about to say. I'm not mad that we took a L, although I'm mad that we took a L. It's just I'm glad that we played the way that we played. That made zero fucking sense. But y'all know what I mean. Y'all know how my brain works.
You know how my brain works. Masa, give me a sentence too about.
Happy with the performance. Upset with the result. Is what George is trying to say.
You complete me. Damn, I haven't done this in a while, boys.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I feel the same. Like I feel like it's a stepping stone in the right direction. You can't win every game on a rebuild year, especially with all these players coming in. I mean, it is what it is. We're playing attractive, sexy football right now, and I'm mad at that. It's like especially this game, it was like possession with intent. It wasn't like possession just to have the ball. So I'm happy with that, and we look dangerous, bro. Everybody, almost everyone had a shot on target, and just wasn't our night. It is what it is. Move on.
Yep.
Beautifully
Well
said.
said. I'll top that off by saying like boys, geez, you gotta get us a win at home. Like we can't have the stands rocking the way they've been rocking just to take L's. Like you know what I mean? Like I really like when that 80th minute goal felt like I hadn't seen 121, 122 or B blocking for that matter. Like have the air knocked out of them like that. Like you know what I mean? Everybody just kind of like how like what the fuck. So yeah, boys, come on, Vanny, Cheech, come on, get us a dub at home. Don't sit up here with us. Full stance. But all right, moving on. Let's talk Dallas. We got a game tomorrow versus Dallas. 12th place Dallas. 2 points ahead of Vancouver. Dallas sitting in 12th place. I mean, if we're gonna get a layup like that, I'm not mad at it coming right now, right? Because we look at a roster right now. Jonah is not available. Efra is not available. Williams is not available. Is Legit? Is he gone? Do we know if he's gone?
I don't know. I hope not.
Legit might.
So.
Doesn't Legit might or might not. I can't confirm nor deny that he's with the team or with the US yet. But you know, Siga Koulibaly game day decision, right? Like there's like quite a few players missing. So let's start there. Like, do we have the personnel right now to beat Dallas at home?
Absolutely.
Yeah, motherfuckers better say yes. Please say yes, because I can't fathom the thought of not having a team to beat Dallas, even with all those fucking injuries and absentees.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about lineups. Actually, let's start there. All right, Bond. Like he ain't going nowhere. Right? Look, Bond's at goal. So let's start off with that. Center back pairings.
Dupuy.
Dupuy.
Revolution.
Yeah. Revolution. Yeah, I think. All right, let's go with that for now, and then we talk about midfield and see how we set that up. All right, so Dupuy, Revolution, we got Villafaña, Julian. I think that's set for defense, right? We need 3 in the midfield, right? Bank on Jonah not being there. Bank on effort not being there. Legit, that may be there. What are we doing with the midfield boys? Defensively, who are we using?
Defensively?
Hey, listen, just get midfield. It doesn't have to be defensive. It could just be midfield. We need 3 in the midfield, right? We should play 3 in the midfield. So like, whatever 3 in the midfield.
Vasquez for sure.
I don't think Vasquez goes another. I don't think he starts this game.
Vasquez.
Interesting.
Harvey.
Jeez, I haven't heard Harvey.
I don't want him.
Harvey played G2.
I don't want him anywhere near the G1. Shit, man. Saldana?
Yeah. Think so.
Get him off my squad too. Fuck. This is a whole get off my squad team. If not Saldana, then it'll be Sasha.
Yeah. So I'm agreeing with you. I think Sasha. I think it's Vasquez. I think it's the Jetty we stood around, or Saldana is like the easy replacement if he's not here, right? Which is interesting. It's interesting because like that's not. I was nowhere near my fucking. Listen, if Legit and Vasquez plays, then that's closer to what I want to see. If Legit doesn't play, then it's it's a little off what I want to see in my midfield. So Masa, you don't think Vasquez is playing? So who are you playing in instead of Vasquez?
Clutchton. I think you give Vasquez some rest. I don't think he could go back to back in 3 days. I mean, I could be wrong, but
give me midfield.
Revolution, Legit.
So who are you having in center back?
And then Depew and Koulibaly. I think Koulibaly's gonna play.
Okay, so like listen, if Koulibaly plays, I think it solves a lot for the midfield, right? Because if
push up.
if Koulibaly's in there, then Ryan's Revolution should be our six, should be playing our CDM or deeper lane CM for sure. And in that case, then it opens up, right? Because now you could have Vasquez Sasha, you could have Vasquez Leggett, you could have Leggett Sasha, you could even do like a Perez in there, right? Because we haven't seen him in a minute, but the kid could create, so you can actually see him in there as well. That opens up. I think Cabral and Granzer, they stay out wide. I don't think we're changing that. Right?
Yep.
And we're doing Subak again on top.
Yeah, I'm going
Question
North
mark?
back up top.
Why not?
I'm going North back up top.
Yo, we didn't even touch Granzier in the last game. Shout out to my man.
Yeah.
Hell of a fucking game. All you need is the ball to go in. All you need is the ball to go in. Granted, he still played against San Jose, flew to see his newborn child, and flew back.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's wild. I didn't think he went. I was like, damn, my man didn't go. He's probably gonna wait until for the 10-day rest, but I guess not. That's tight. And listen, he went to France and he picked up his legs because he showed a lot more pace this game than he had, right? So
I don't know what happened.
yeah. All right, but back to this. Any chance we get Granzer outright, Cabral up top, and Subak and Dunbar out left?
I don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it.
I don't want to see Cabral not on the wing. I'm sorry. It's not the type of. I'd much rather have Zubak up top. As crazy as that sounds,
I agree with Masa. I don't want to.
Over Cabral up top.
I don't want to start
100%.
playing players out of position. This is GBS where he just started mixing everyone around in the rotation. Play where they played. And it is what it is. If that means that Zubak can't be the number 2, he can't be the number 2. Go out and look for a number 2, but he's fine. But stop mixing and trying to put players that are not supposed to. You know what? I'm
gonna disagree with y'all. I'm gonna disagree with you there because I don't know if we'll see it from the jump, but I don't think it's I don't think it is trying something crazy by putting out Dunbar out left, which is pretty natural to him, and Cabral up in the middle.
Look, right, I don't mind seeing it I don't mind seeing Cabral up top for a while. Like when you got to get a result, there's heavy legs, and you throw Dunbar in. Like I don't mind seeing that, right? But to start, I don't. I much rather have Zubak though. Zubak, I know for sure can give me a goal if put in the right situation. You know, like he did last game. He came right in. Yeah, on the set pieces, he's one of the taller players. He could give me something like that.
You have way more faith on him than I do. Because for me, like for him to score, it has to be a sitter. Right? You have to pull the keeper out. Fucking,
the scoring though. It's not even the scoring. Like if you're gonna have Cabral up top, you're gonna have him pressing 2 CBs or whatever, and he's gonna gas. And I'd rather him just get gassed attacking the whole time. Zubak would do a lot of the dirty work and to cover for the wings or put extra pressure for the wings. You know, I don't want Cabral gassing out defensively, and then offensively he's not gonna have it. Like Zubak will do that for you. Zubak will gas out defensively, and him winning balls in the air or whatever, or being able to hold up the ball for a second or two. His passes might not be great, but he could at least do that. Cabral probably lose the ball. He doesn't have the strength to hold up. I much rather have Zubak up top.
But like I don't. It goes back to like this the argument me and you have, right? The way we see the game is different, right? Because like the technical depth that you carry from having Subak in your team, like the step down you have in technical skill compared to like the rest of the team is major for me, right? Like I feel like Dunbar is better technically than Subak. Right, I'm not taking work ethic into consideration, just skill based. Like I think Dunbar is a more technical skill player than Subak ever is. Therefore, like I like that technical depth or the skill depth you get from having Subak there. Like for me, like I don't like it. Right, like I don't like it. That's why like when that thought of having there, like
then do what you do with Cheech, right? I'm not comparing. I'm not saying Zubak could do what Chicharito do, right? But puts Zubak in situations like you do Chicharito where he just has to tap it in.
But like those situations are created solely by Chicha though. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's the one that creates those for himself. But that technical skill is not there for him.
That's what you have your wingers for, right? to
But
do
you're
that for
asking,
you.
but you're asking something that happened that hasn't happened.
Like for me, again, it comes down to like Zubak
But,
not being able to
but
do
we
that, right? Like,
right, but we already saw it with Cabral up top. It's just not gonna work out. Like
I mean, how much we see that?
not the single striker up top. I could
But,
see him
but,
like a second striker.
man, again, right? Like I think when we think about who
I
we're
like
playing,
Cabral. I like Cabral on the wing just because I feel like in 1v1 situations, I think in the middle, it's they're gonna crowd him, bro. It's just to me, it's not gonna work out.
well, listen,
I,
I don't know.
I mean,
We could have this discussion, I think, for a long time, right? But because it really depends on how direct you play with him up top, right? Because we're looking to carry the ball up the wing and then cross it for Cabral, that's not work. But if you play direct with him, like you saw the first game, when you play more direct with him and you open some space, like that's where he excels. Either way, it's a combination of that. It becomes tricky because of the international absences and the injuries we ended up picking up pretty fast here, right? Because I didn't say it, so I know it wasn't me who jinxed it. But like for a second there, I was like, man, like we're getting through this season right now without many injuries, and lo and behold, right? Like here you go, you start seeing people drop. All right, so all that being said, right? All that being said, we're still playing Dallas. We're still playing a team who, what is it now? 11 games in, 10 games in, haven't found their groove, right? They have 2 wins with 4 ties and 5 losses, I believe that is. Oh no, I'm lying to you. It's 2 wins, 4 losses, and five draws. Versus our record, which is at 7 wins, 4 losses, and 0 draws. Man, everything we talked about right now with the lineup still should be enough, right? Whether it's Zubek up top or whether it's Cabral up top, whatever it is, they should be enough to beat the Stim. Yay?
Yay.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy thinking that we should be favorites coming into this game, right? That being said, what do we got to do to fucking to actually do that, right? Actually get over the hump and actually score goals. Although we have been beating the teams we need to beat, can we continue that at home?
I've never meant this more than what I'm about to say right now, but punch them in the mouth early. You need to score. It's just you need to see the ball go in. I think once that happens, I've said it for Cabral, I said it for Granzier. When the ball goes in, the floodgates are gonna open, and I hope I'm right.
Well, listen, it's for the team as well, right? Like I know you singled out Granzier and Cabral, but like after Seattle and after KC at home, like the team just needs to fucking score, right? Masa, like the team needs it. No, at this point, like it's for morale boost, like for confidence.
Yeah, man. I feel like to win this game, all they gotta do is score, because everything else has been on point. At least from what we've seen the last couple games, it's just someone else besides Chicharito, because he's not gonna be there to put in the back of the net. Simple as that.
No, you're 100% right. Like we just need to, like again, right? Like broken record as fuck, but we liked everything we saw last game, except for the fact that we couldn't score one, right? And I didn't even think Mille was like the reason for it. Like yes, he had a couple of blocks that are decent, but like the boys just couldn't put it in. The boys couldn't. Listen, we played Dallas, and I think it's pretty simple. It's more the same with some goals, and we win, right? But a Dallas team who scored 13 times and allowed 17 goals, which is pretty similar to us, right? We scored 17 and allowed 17. Like we're a goal differential. So it's not a team who's going to come out here and score a lot of goals, but also it's not a team that's leaking goals per se either, right? They're pretty average to most teams at that point. You think they come in? What do you think Dallas comes in? What do you think they do? They coming in just trying to not lose? You think they come after us? What do you see from them? What do you think? And I'll be frank. Go for it.
I think they hold back and they see what we can do. It'll be a little ballsy on them to come in and try to dominate the tempo of the game, and I don't think we should expect them to do that. I think this game is for us to lose. It's not for them to win. It's 100% for us to lose. We have to dictate tempo, and we have to go in there and kind of dictate that early.
Masa, have you seen a lot of Dallas? Because I haven't, and
I tried a couple times. It's just boring as fuck.
Do they still have the pace that they had at one point?
They have the pace, but they're missing key players because of the Gold Cup and shit like that. I think Brian Acosta is gone.
Which is gonna be good for us.
To the Gold Cup. But I mean, they're a young team, so obviously they have that energy, right? They have the pace. But I think they're gonna try to hit us on counters. I think they're gonna box up and play to the draw. I don't think they're trying. Obviously, they want the 3 points, but I think they're gonna play to a draw.
I mean, listen, coming into even before talking to you guys, like this always feels like the Galaxy has to put the energy. The Galaxy have to go out and get it, right? Because Dallas.
I don't want to say they can't beat us because it's possible too. I mean, they've beaten New England this season. One of their wins is against number 1 team in the East. But they're missing key players. We're missing key players. I still feel like we're the better team. And just don't be surprised if you see them come out with energy. Like, what the fuck? Because that's I mean, the one thing they do have is that, right?
Not only that. I mean, we could look at the game versus Vancouver a couple weeks ago now, right? Where we came out super dope, and then like completely like forgot about it in the second half, and took them scoring in the 80-something minutes for us to get back in and score one late, right? Like, so I think you're right. Like there is a chance for that. There is a chance for that. But also like because some of the players are missing, I think there's a lot to prove. I think there's a chip on the shoulder because they didn't win this weekend either. All right, like so I really believe like. I see this game as like a chance for them to kind of take some of that frustration out, right? Like if they do what George says and punch them in the mouth early and get a goal in early, like I mean, let them floodgates open and have that feel good again. Because right now, like I don't care what you say, they can't feel that good. They just dropped 2 games at home that they probably should have won. Yep. Anything we need to be worried about, Dallas, before we move on to predictions?
Counterattack, leaving ourselves open in the back.
Damn, I had that shit right here, bro. I forgot the name of the player. I think it's Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe. The striker.
Yep. Just be on it, bro. Be on it defensively. I feel like if Koulibaly plays or Revolution plays in the back, I think we should be fine. We can't be confident just because they're at the bottom of the table. They have good talent there. I think Jesus Ferreira too. He's good too. So
and they link up, right?
Certain players. Yeah,
they link up because he just assisted Pepe on the goal this weekend versus Vancouver. They ended up 2-2 versus Vancouver. So like, man, I know it's stats and I know it's all paper and shit, and you gotta play who's in front of you, but come on,
it's just
there's enough talent there to win.
Yeah, there's talent on that team. Just shit hasn't been working out for whatever reason. Just you can't go in confident. You have to try and get the result.
Yep.
All right. Let's finish this off. Let's get ready to get going. Let's talk some predictions on goals. Angel, I know your voice is hurting and you're a little sore, but what's your prediction? I think I'm gonna go 2-1. Peace. Cool. Oh, okay. So no, and since you're gonna make this and his prediction, he's saying 2-1. And similar to what I was saying earlier, like 2-1 because they have to feel as they need some kind of redemption and get a dub at home, a long-awaited dub at home with full capacity, even though it's a Wednesday game, but full capacity, quote unquote. Masa, George, which one of you want to go first?
3-0.
Let's go. Wait, 3-0
dub.
Okay, cool. Because I can't have you can say 3-0 loss though.
I have Cabral scoring 2 and Granzier scoring 1.
Fucking say it one more time.
Yeah.
I need that type of game, dog. I need them to score. Masa, tell me something similar.
I got the same score.
That shit's not gonna happen. Then the Fumasa doesn't know shit about stuff.
I got 3-0. I got Cabral, Kleshton, and I think the Pew gets one off a set piece.
Let's go. I'll go. I'll go 4-0. Dub.
Hmm.
We're just gonna smash it. It's gonna be a goal for 2 goal for Cabral, a goal for fucking Razero, and one for either Stiga or Revolution on fucking on a set piece. That's gonna be a French connection. That's fucked. The Frenchies are taking us to the dove, and I'll fuck to that. That's my prediction. 4-0, 3-0 for Massa and George, 2-1 for Angel. All thinking we're gonna take a dub. Please don't make it look like fools again. I thought we were over that part. I thought we were over that part already. I kept saying in the game on Sunday, man, like this is what it is, what it must feel like to be in a toxic relationship, to do so much for something and get nothing in return. So I'm hoping we can start taking. I'm hoping we can start taking some strides in the right direction and get some dub at home. Because I definitely want to see that. Dope. I think we're good. Yo, if you're listening to this before going to head into the game, get there early. Gates open at 5:30. I know tailgate's gonna be happening from like 3:30 on to about 6:30, 7 o'clock. So get there, have a few drinks, and support for 90 plus. We are about to send out a bunch of tickets that we ended up getting through member donations and some extras that we have. So if you're waiting for those, that should be in your inbox. If not, then please reach out to Angel City Brigade, and we'll figure that out. Yeah. With that being said, it's another episode of Straight from the Stands. I'm boy Rudy at I Am Smarts on Twitch, I Am Smarts on Twitter, I Am Smarts on the gram.
This is George. Follow me at Jonah Dos Santos.
Angel, follow me only on Instagram now. ADF, something. Peace.
At Hasbullah.
Peace, love, and Jesus. Let's go.
Peace, y'all. Have a good night.
Peace.